Hey, Bonfire Premier Cup Series. This is your admin, Kevin Kyle, and I am proud to introduce to you your Season 12 primary sponsor, Animal House Customs. Get your favorite iRacing League logo or anything you can dream of on any hat or patch. Animal House Customs has a stitch for every itch. And in order to scratch that itch, visit animalhousecustoms.com or you can call Animal House Customs at 985-222-8065. Once again, that's 985-222-8065. Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Pocono, Pennsylvania. We're here for the 988 check-in, 75 laps, presented by Cavo K. And this race was sponsored by Chris Morrill. So big shout out there to Chris and all the support that Chris and Team Focum have always given to the Bonfire Racing League. But yeah, we're here, Jared, on this beautiful Sunday morning here in Pennsylvania for 75 laps of action here. We're coming off of a race at Auto Club last week where Kevin Kyle, he got his first oval win of his career. So that was a big deal for Kevin there. And we're excited to see what this next week brings as all the drivers have been dealing with the new updates with the tire packages and the aero packages. So something to keep in mind here as we take a look here at Jason Landry putting down some qualifying laps. And I'm joined here today with Jared Kelly, and we're hoping to get Zach in here a little later. As soon as he jumps in, he'll be joining us here. And but yeah, Jared, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Fighting a little bit of some sort of virus, but I'm all right.
All right, well, good. I'm glad you're able to make it here, Jared, and be a part of this with me this morning. As the real Cup cars are also going to be in Pocono. But anything, Jared, stands out to you today with this track?
Long straightaways, must need of a tow down those straightaways to be somewhat quick. My bad. But yeah, also the new dirty air model too. So gonna be fighting some dirty air as well. And it looks like we do have Zach in here now.
Oh, very nice. Hey, good morning, Zach. How are you doing this morning?
Doing good, guys. How you doing?
Just another beautiful Sunday morning, getting to watch some great action here at the Bonfire Racing League, Zach. So we were just talking about how Kevin was able to get his first win last week at Auto Club, and now the boys have traveled over here to Pennsylvania at Pocono for we're doing 75 laps here at this longer racetrack that we have on the schedule.
Yeah, 75 laps around Pocono. No easy task. A long and challenging track, as I'm sure you guys have already mentioned. All three corners different, all based off of iconic racetracks, but all three challenging their own way here.
Yeah. So, Zach, we're just watching qualifying right now. That's Kyle Lanot making some laps there. We had a couple new drivers this week join in. I'm trying to see what their names were. Oh, Todd Dunn, newcomer. So he's going to be driving the 131. Christopher Melton, he'll be driving the 826. And then we had Jake Johnson. He joined up last week. Three new drivers in our league, putting some laps down here. Also, shout out to who else I was going to mention? Zach. Zach's been putting in some more laps. He got his 2-digit number. Also, Brandon Finley, he got his 2-digit number. He's going to be driving the 48. And looking at that, that's it. So Jason Landry, though, putting up a good lap time. I know he's trying to secure, what is it now, 4th pole in a row, Jared, or 4th pole this season out of 5 races?
Jeez.
Or Zach, I think think that's what he's got. No worries.
I believe that is it, Kevin.
I think it's
ridiculous amount of poles.
I think no one else has started on pole all year. I don't think.
Jeez.
Yeah. Jason definitely been putting the time in just as much as, and David's always right there on his heels. So we'll have to see how today turns out with that, with the pole, who's going to get it. Thankfully, there's no points for poles in this league, so that's a good thing for the rest of the drivers. Jared, do you happen to have the standings or anything that we could show for from after Auto Club, or is that for?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me just get it here. What do you want first? Do you want the AM class or the Pro class?
We did AM class.
If it wants to show up for me.
Sounds like our software.
There it goes. Or that's not right. Yeah, it is. That's right. I think. No, that's not right. I don't know what's going on.
No worries, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. We'll get that to you guys here shortly. But yeah, I know with the drop weeks now, after 5 weeks, we've had two races drop, so it's really shaken up the standings. Sometimes it's hard to get your head around it. I know you might be up a couple spots one week, another week you might have dropped a whole bunch, but that's just kind of the nature of the beast with the drop weeks. It helps give guys some flexibility if they want to go out of town or if they miss a race or have a real bad one. It kind of just gives that flexibility to the guys in order to keep the season going and hopefully having drivers return week in and week out. So excited for that. See how that turns out for the rest of the week. But it is a tight battle before coming in here. I think it was only a 10-point difference there between David and Jason. So that's definitely a big battle shaping up. And also in our AM class, I think Thomas Fox is leading that right now. I'm trying to get the details on that because I do want to shout out our AM guys, as that's just as a good a battle on the track as it is on paper.
Yeah, very competitive amongst the AM drive.
Really a well-built, I guess you could say, series over there amongst those guys, and very, very competitive. Because, man, the guy on screen right now, he is making the pros division pretty simple outside of his biggest competitor, Landry. Dave Medina having another dominant season right now, as we're seeing him put in a caution time, or a qualifying time. We've seen him pretty solid this year in qualifying, Kevin. Not with the same raw speed in one lap as Jason Landry, but man, this guy is having no problem sharing the front row more often than not with that 56 car.
Yeah, Jason, I think he ran 54.5. I'm trying to see what it time. Oh, qualifying. So Jason right now, I think he ran a 54.589, and that's about 3/10 faster than the car behind him is Kyle Lynott. I don't know if Kyle Lynott's made his lap times yet, but Kyle ran 54.8. So I know David during his qualifying, he said he got loose during his qualifying run there. So he might have been able to contend there for Jason, as I know that they take that very seriously there amongst themselves on who's getting the pole and starting the field out.
I mean, so important, especially at this track too. A very difficult track to pass at, as big as it is, and honestly, as easy as it looks like it's gonna be to pass here. It is not an easy task. So often you got to make sure, and as you see, they're a little bit loose outside the corner. You got to make sure that you're getting those exits as good as you can, really, really maximizing your momentum out of these corners. Because as you can see on screen right now, absolutely enormous front stretch right there, hitting normally close to 200 miles per hour towards the end of that, and the other two stretches throughout this track, guys, not much shorter. And man, they can develop some massive runs, but not always encouraged to make aggressive moves at this racetrack.
Yeah, and then Jared, did you have a chance to run an official race at Pocono this week?
Yeah, I ran one yesterday and it ended up taking the win in that one, but there was a lot of yellows, people not being able to control themselves. So
Okay.
But yeah, it was a weird race. Nothing really happened. I mean, I took the lead and then the yellow came out and I stayed there.
Very nice.
The tires didn't feel like it was that. Oh, as we see, who's that getting loose there? That 48,
yeah,
Brandon losing control there.
Those
off this
tires
qualifying
are
lap.
gonna need change. I know that.
Yeah, those aren't good anymore.
Yeah, man, we were talking about that a little while ago before we went live on air. Was the tires? I know at Auto Club and some practices during the week, just sliding the tires any little bit, it just really eats up the tires really bad. Actually, like I was very surprised how much it does so more now than it did before the update. So maybe it's good we have an extra set from last season, but we do have 4 tires in the pits, 1 on the car, so that's a total of 5. Quite a bit of tires gives you options, but we're just seeing how it goes this season. As each season will have its little quirks and new things or changes each time we get going with another new season. But this is what we're doing this one, and it hasn't been too bad. So we'll see how it shapes up today at Pocono for the guys here. As that's one of our newer drivers to the league. I think that is who's that, Jared? Jake Johnson.
Nice.
No number though on the car though, Jared. On your end, I know it was on my end too.
Yep, making it easy for us broadcasters out here to identify these cars with no number, so we appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, about that update, Kevin, I have noticed the same thing you have in terms of tire wear. Definitely a little bit more egregious is the tire wear now. But what I've also noticed is there's seems to be kind of what is like a plateauing point or a balancing out point about halfway through these runs that didn't seem to exist before. In my opinion, it seemed like you kind of just would bleed off, you know, a tenth or two every lap until the tires were completely gone. And it was pretty easy to dictate your speed against your competitors with your lap difference that way, and predict what it was going to be like. Whereas now it seems like a track like this, I'm assuming around the 10, 15 lap point, you're going to see these lap times start to balance out a little bit, even if you see a 3 or 4 lap difference in terms of when they brought it down.
Yeah, that's something you could tell in practice. Like the fall off wasn't. It was quite dramatic at the very beginning, but then it started to feel like it evened out across a lot of the drivers as the laps continued on. It depending on how bad you burned it up. But yeah, Jared, how much time we got? Oh, there looks like they're gridding
Looks like
up
we are gridding
actually.
up, actually. Yeah, so it looks like we are gridding up. Hopefully, we'll have our qualifying results available to us in just a second. From what I could tell, it looked like could have been a lot of the same here, Kevin. I think Landry may have put it on the top of the pole again.
Yeah, and I believe he did with Kyle Lynott coming in second there. Going to be starting on the front row with Jason.
Congratulations, Jason, on
And
another pole.
yeah,
Remember,
Jason just
start of the race,
a
call the
monster
green
right
flag.
now with
After
his
that, it's on the
with his
restart
poles.
zone.
Now
Leader
it's
has lane
now I
plates
think
at
it's
all
just
times. Um,
it's something that he takes pride in each week, getting that pole, and it's always a battle there. But good to see Kyle and David Owens and Michael Sarah, even Michael Sarah having a great qualifying attempt there, starting in fourth today. So he'll have a great starting spot for that AM driver of Michael Sarah. I believe Jared Kelly's going to pick up fifth spot. Kevin Kyle's going to be in sixth. On your fourth row, Joseph Vulpes and Brandon Finley make up your fourth row. Jax Duvall and Brandon Shelton make up your fifth row. And we got Nick Mills and Matthew Smith bringing up rows number 6. Row number 7 is David Brenner and Tommy Fox. Ricky Mandela and David Medina falls all the way down the 16th position.
Wow.
As he had a tough qualifying there, as he mentioned in our group chat. I think he lost control or got loose a little bit and just lost a ton of time. Mark Dumont, Jose Medina going to bring up row number 9. Zach Clausen, Jake O'Shea, row 10. Michael Benton, Todd Dunn, newcomer, going to do row 11. Row 12, newcomer Chris Melton and Richard Swingle. Glad to see Richard back. Gerald Rose, Stephen Neal, Jake Johnson, and Tim Darby are going to bring up your last positions there, as we have a field of 28 cars here today on this beautiful June 22nd here in Pennsylvania.
Awesome field size, and we're going to get real familiar with this track here on this VRN network this week. We'll be back here in the DDIRL on Wednesday, hopefully with a similar field size, 28, an awesome number here. And yeah, we got this interesting starting lineup here, Kevin. 16th place, David, that's going to be fun to watch him work through this field, because we know that's what's going to happen. And we saw him on screen qualifying. He got loose out of 3 or 6, whatever you want to call it, and he went all the way down the track, all the way down nearly to the pit wall. He was able to save it, but as we can tell, it costing him significant time. And then shout out Michael Sarah, our AM driver, 4th place qualifying effort. That's a really impressive lap by Michael Sarah.
Yeah, excited to see what Michael can do with that track position. And yes, this is a lot of these caution laps are going to feel like forever. So we might, if we have a couple cautions here or there, no worries. But I think me and Jared were talking, as this is a replay file that we're doing for you guys after the race. I think we might fast forward through some of the caution laps if we get too many. And also, we're going to be showing replays for you guys. We're just going to have Jared, after the yellow comes out, we'll just rewind and take a look at exactly what came out. And me and Zach will just catch up with Jared, and we'll be okay. We'll figure it out. So be prepared for that. Look forward to that, seeing some of the action replayed for us there. All thanks to Jared and his in the production truck. As here at Pocono, there's only 3 corners. There they come out of turn 3. Here they come out of turn 3. Though, Zach, I'll let you go ahead and get us started here today at Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we'll have to have that debate at some point today, Kevin. But here they come out of turn 3 for the first time. Pace car is going to take that hard left into the pits, and it's going to be Landry for the 5th consecutive week, leading them to green. Kyle Lynott is outside, and we're getting ready to go green here. It's going to be off the flat bin, and we are green. Jason Landry leading to green. Good start for Landry, but Lynott going to stay even with him, and they're going to go into turn 1 side by side. A fast corner here, Kyle. A good passing opportunity on these restarts.
Yeah, they're 3 wide already in the back there. You can see Mills, Jared Kelly, and Kevin Kyle already starting off 3 wide. as they get that thing straightened out. And then there's Joseph Wolfus a little bit further in the back behind that Nick Mills, as Jared Kelly and Michael Cera side by side. And up front, you can see Kyle not getting that run on Jason Landry, trying to take the lead here early on in the race.
And here we are getting ready for what we call the tunnel turn. Barely let off here. You're really just trying to keep your momentum. Not an easy place to pass, but an easy place to create an accident. As you see so far, everyone looking good. Kyle not looking to the inside of Landry, and he's going to complete that pass for first place. You see the 56 trying to use that outside momentum, but Lynott going to drive right across his nose and deliver that dirty air to him. It looks like Kyle Lynott in the 98 is going to lead the first lap here at Pocono.
Yeah, further on in the back, Brandon Finley just took Kevin Kyle and Joseph Vulpes 3 wide out of turn 3, and now he's got a nice run, going to attack the 20 of Nick Mills. Now Jared Kelly working on the inside of Michael Cera, trying to move himself up to P4 at the moment.
Love what we see there on that left side on that leaderboard. That green behind those numbers, that indicates a pro driver. So as you see, Michael Cera just surrounded by pro drivers right now, doing his best, holding tough in that 4th place. And you also see Kyle Lynott trying to use the inside of that racetrack. How important do you think that's going to be today, Kevin, trying to break that draft down these long straightaways?
I think it's not. I feel like it's a cool thing you see like the Indy cars and things do, but I feel with the cars, it might. I don't know. I feel like with the tires, it might not be worth your time to really try to be pushing the issue of trying to swerve out of getting the draft. But I mean, anything I can see it happening later on in the race, maybe it helping guys break that draft.
Yeah, I definitely do think it will be more beneficial later, but right now that doesn't matter to Kyle Lynott. He is using it like crazy up and down the racetrack. He goes down these straightaways, really trying to break that draft and not give the 56 any type of run on him. What we also saw on screen during that, Nick Mills already starting to work through the field. Nick Mills, I'm sure, feeling like he is due for a good race. That car has been so fast, but just not able to have the finishes I'm sure he thinks he deserves. And man, look up front, Jason Landry not letting Kyle not go away at all, as we're seeing a little bit of a breakaway for these top 2.
Yeah, and there's Jason taking it on the inside now, has the run, and this is kind of the seesaw battle that you're gonna see, especially against 2 cars that are competent in the same driver skill, basically. Now, Kyle's going to get the run, maybe coming back out of, now this is down the front stretch here at Pocono, so it doesn't look like he might catch up in time to get off onto the inside of Jason, as Jason might now be able to definitely put some space in between. Oh, but Kyle, you can see the car just catch up right there, right before entry, which isn't where you want to be exactly with your run. You'd like to be side by side if you're going to try to make a pass, but we'll see how it turns out here out of turn 1. And then there's David Owens in the 8 NOS Energy car, picking up P3.
Yeah, Owen's doing a great job now, and you can see also how much it slows you down to get side by side. We were seeing a little bit of breakaway. That tiny little battle between Lynott and Landry, enough to let Owens catch up and make this really a 4-car battle. Jared Kelly catching up as well, making this a group of 4 here. But like you talked about, even though we saw Lynott get a nice run there down the front stretch, not close enough to the 56 to want to make that move, and you really do have to be at least side by side. It's even better to have a nose in front of that car. You don't want to kill your momentum going for a pass that you don't think you're going to be able to complete.
Yeah, further back in the field, you can see David Brenner in the 22 and Matthew Smith in the 96 and Joseph Vulpes in 11. David Medina starting their back and further, and you can see just kind of the traffic David Medina's having to battle through as the teammates there, the 2 and the 31 are battling side by side, and David Brenner's now looking for a way around this Bochum blockade, as it were.
Yeah, that is a frustrating situation for the 9 of Medina. There's really nowhere he can go right now. He has the 11 of Vulpes in front of him and a nice Lowe's paint scheme. That thing is looking good this weekend. But man, if you're Medina right now, you kind of just have to be patient, don't you? Don't destroy this car early in the 75-lap race. Those positions, I'm sure he knows, will come to him earlier as these tires start to wear. But right now, with all this mayhem in front of him, just really hoping to keep that car clean as he sees Kevin Kyle trying to make a pass on the outside of Brenner. All types of craziness directly in front of our current points leader.
Yeah, you can see Brenner trying to make a move there, and he doesn't be able to complete it. And then now Matthew Smith gonna capitalize on that of Brenner. So that's the problem you're gonna have, is you can't complete a pass or you get hung up. You're gonna lose all that time and speed to the inside, as you're gonna get freight trained, as they call it, on the outside. So just something to keep in mind. You gotta pick and choose your spots, and make sure you don't make that business mistake. But further back in the back, you got Richard Swingle and Jax Duvall. They're back in 25th and 24th as Duvall starts to make his march up to the field, as He's actually lost 15 spots from the beginning of this race. Wasn't quite sure exactly what happened there with Jax, as he's back in 24th now, trying to make his way back.
Yeah, Duvall all the way back, actually 25th is what I'm seeing now. So not the start that Jax Duvall was looking for in this race. You didn't quite catch what happened with him, but the important part, I believe, for him is that there's no significant damage on that car. Seems to be driving okay, but oftentimes when you do a big moment that early, it's enough to spook you, calm you down for what could even be the whole first half of the race, and not want to end things early. Jax Duvall with some incidents early. One of our newer pro drivers upgraded mid-season to the Pro League from the AM League, was having a great season over there. Now racing in a totally different points bracket and really not able to afford these performances as much as he could have earlier in the season. As to the outside of Vulpes, you also have David Medina right now, and another pass on screen right there as you see Jared Kelly and David Owens going at it, and that's for third place. Kelly going to move to third.
Yeah, Owens took a big shot there in the outer saver barrier wall, and surprised that number 8 Ford isn't hurt any more than it is already, as he slapped it pretty hard, and Jared was able to make the pass around David.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to keep up with and see how significant that is as the race goes on. I'm looking to the right side of that number 8 car. I don't see anything too bad. These next gens, Kevin, it seems like it's either nothing or significant when you have those outside hits. It doesn't ever seem to kind of barely, affect you. I think Owens may have gotten away by the skin of his teeth on that one, because I'm not seeing anything too dramatic in terms of the performance of that 8, but we'll have to keep our eye on it as this run goes on.
Yeah, it's either you break a toe link or you're okay, you bounce off it.
Life. Yep.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like in real life, which is you see the cars hit a certain way and they're done for the day, and that's a toe link. So as I got my eyes here on, I'm looking at Medina here and David Brenner, as they're still trying to work their way around. As we just mentioned earlier, it's just like Brenner got hung up by the 96, and now it's been taking him this long to work his way back up to the back bumper of the 996. So just emphasizing the importance of making a pass when you go for it, because you can't afford to miss it and then lose all your track position, as David is now working back from that. But Medina up 4 spots from the beginning, Brenner up 2 spots, Matthew Smith up, Kevin Kyle's dropped 3 from the beginning, Michael Serra now has dropped back to 7th. He was our AM driver that started in 4th today. As go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's just exercising so much patience right now as Medina. I've been watching him closely, and it's like we talk about a lot. It's hard to make this guy go any beyond the pace that he's willing to go, and he's a great example of that right now. But he is going to make this pass, it looks like, on the outside of Brenner through the tunnel turn.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a drag race down here in the 3.
Very close, and it's also allowing Vulpes, who's going to try to follow Medina through this and get Brenner as well, but Brenner's going to do a great job sending it hard through turn 3. This is my least favorite corner of this track right here, Kyle. It gets so loose for me entering that corner, and it always seems to just snap on you when you least expect it, but good job by those 3 drivers right there to negotiate that corner. But David Brenner losing 2 positions, like you talked about. Seems like when you open the door for these guys, at least a couple people are coming through.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just better to drop back in spot, get back in line, and just get composure and restart your attack again, because you try to do it right away and it usually doesn't turn out well. You just got to learn patience, and usually it ends up a little bit better for y'all. But where else can we go here? So that's David Brenner and company. Let's check in on our one of our
we got a
leaders.
car around actually.
Oh, Michael Benton.
69, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Benton is 6'9" there, Jared.
Caution is out.
Yeah, caution's out. And then, Jared, do you want to try rewinding it to see what happened?
First time over here. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's see how much I can break SDK here.
I know.
I would just hit rewind. There you go. All right, so we're rewinding it here. We're going to take a look at exactly what took place here.
I'm assuming loose out of this corner, Kevin. Maybe a hit to the wall, and oh wow, loose on entry. Actually, it looks like, so he's on the bottom. No, around she goes. Nice slow motion shot there from our producer.
Yeah,
and
nice
that thing is so far beyond saving, man.
Does it snap back right on him though?
Don't look at the wall. You're gonna hit it.
Good job.
Saves it there. Good job, actually. Hit the brakes. We're not done, actually.
Ooh, man. Takes
that slow motion there. Teased us. One more for good measure? Why not?
Oh, boom. My Lord.
Gotta even out the damage. Gotta make sure that
even out.
Yep.
Okay. Right on. Well, that was so Michael Benton. Looks like he took some big aero damage there, but I don't know. It looks like all 4 tires are still on the car. It's rolling, so um, hopefully they can get some repairs there on that guy. As we'll just let it play out and take a look here at Jason now. Jason pit car, he's catching up to the pace car right now, so we'll take a look here at Jason and see what the leaders do if they want to bring it in here early or stay out. As we were talking about the importance of track position.
What are you expecting to have happen here? What's the the fuel length for these guys right now?
I think it was Jared. Was it 36 laps?
No, it was like 27 under 3.
27 laps.
Jeez, I am way off. I think I was thinking the Auto Club maybe.
Hey, if you're really slow, it could be 36. So it's always possible. Where there's a will, there's a way, Kevin. But that, I'd assume, if it is 27, I would say this is a no-brainer, right? It's time to at least put some fuel in this thing. But also, like we talked about before the race started, a lot of tires available to these guys today, as it should be at Pocono. It's a track that eats tires like you wouldn't believe. So I would not be surprised even to see a few guys put 4 fresh ones on it here.
Yeah, we'll see. I feel like the guys up in front, there's a lot of tires, but it just depends on how many cautions you think the race is going to have. I know the official races we were talking had quite a bit of cautions there, but yeah, I don't know. I think you're going to be split here. I think you're going to have some guys come in, put some tires on as they exit turn 3.
Yeah, let's see who bites here. And then a famous, saying that you hear a lot in NASCAR especially, Kevin, is cautions breed cautions. And I really think that's more true at Pocono than most places. You see these long runs develop here, but it really requires these cars to kind of get spread out like we saw before. Even that instant we saw only a single car wreck, but now that they're bunched back up, and we're also going to have quite a few different tire strategies out here now. It looked like to me that David Owens was the first car in terms of track position to bring it down. He was currently running in the 4th place. So I believe our top 3 at least are going to be on old tires.
Yeah, that's correct. I'm showing the top 7 cars. You had 7 cars stay out. That's going to be Jason, Kyle, Jared, Brandon, Michael, Sarah, Matthew Smith, Jake Johnson. So you got 7 cars staying out on their original set of tires. And then if we look here at the times that these cars were in on pit road, looks like David and Joseph Opus might have just took fuel only, or they had an 8 and 9 second stop respectively. And then Nick Mills and all the way down from, I'd say, 10th position back, looks like they had normal 4 tire stops for the most part. Mark Dumont maybe just took 2 or took fuel only, but it looks like the rest of the field went ahead and put tires on.
Looks like David Medina, yeah, let's put 4 on. Kevin Kyle appears to have put 4 on. Nick Mills, I do think you're correct, leading that pack of 4 tires. Brendan Shelton, part of that as well. A lot of fast drivers, and now they are smack in the middle of this field, Kevin. I am curious to see how this restart goes. This is usually when things fall apart.
Yeah, and then David Owens, taking a look at the pit stop times, he was in there for 47 seconds, so obviously that smack against the wall caused him some damage. He must have been getting repaired there, as the 8 looks a lot better for wear there, as he's going to be catching up the back of the field right now.
No fast repair in this league, so you really got to take care of that race car. And this early, I'm sure David Owens happy that caution came out, giving himself an opportunity to get that whatever damage that he acquired through that pretty big wall hit earlier in this race fixed now, and hopefully get that 8 or more underneath him. But that will cost him every ounce of his track position. David Owens all the way back in 26th place now.
Getting myself synced up as they cross the start-finish line already, I think.
Yes, lights are off, so it will be next time around, and it's going to be, looks like, Jason Landry leading the field. Outside of him will still be Kyle Lynott. So the same first 2. And we've also talked a lot this season. Kyle Lynott, one of the best at making old tires work, as is Landry. So I'm not too worried about those 2. I'm sure the guys like Jarrett Kelly, who is that in 4th right there on the 48?
Brandon Finley.
Finley. They're who I think maybe worry those cars on fresher tires closer to them. They really got to make sure they have a good restart here and try to get away from these guys as quick as they can.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if how aggressive maybe David Medina is now that he's got a little bit better track positions, moved up. Let's see, he's moved up 7 spots now. Jake Johnson, huge move there. He stayed out on track, didn't take tires. He moved 19 spots up, so keep an eye on the no numbered of the 409 of Jake Johnson. No relation to Jack Johnson.
No relation to Jack Johnson, unfortunately. Got a lot of cool last names on this on this network overall, we got a Ryan Newman on Wednesdays, Kevin.
That's right.
No relation to Ryan Newman. Yeah, man, what a long pace lap this is here at Pocono, and you know these guys really chopping at the bit right now, knowing the different situations. Also, these guys that stayed out, they are going to be on a far different fuel situation than the rest of the field, so they probably are preferring another caution, not wanting to do that pit stop under green. However, this is a big track where you shouldn't go a lap down, but it could put things upside down. So again, it's going to be on the leader here, no longer the flagman. It's going to be the 56 of Landry with control of this restart. Watch for that tire spin up front as well, Kevin. That could happen to these older tired cars. We'll see what happens. Looks so far so good for Landry. A good jump in front of Lanot, and that's going to allow Jared Kelly to be side by side with Lanot entering turn one. He may even clear him by the time I get to turn one. Looks like he will.
Yeah, Jared does a great job on that jump. It's going to take over P2. Kyle not work on the outside underneath the Brandon Finley, Michael Serra. Further down in the back, they've got Nick Mills and David Medina. Yeah, they're figuring that out. Medina gets the best out of Nick Mills there. Mills trying to go down and block Jose a little bit down this backstretch into 2.
Huge block there by Mills. Not enough, though. Medina going to still look to his bottom. Kyle Lanot on the outside right there. Oh, and Lanot gets tapped. Worst part in the track for this to happen. Oh, boy. Around goes David Medina. Huge hit for Medina. 77's in this one as well. 43. I see Stephen Neal. Oh, man. The big one at Pocono.
Yeah, that looks like Zach Clausen also involved. Jake Shade just barely escapes. And Kyle Lanot facing the backwards down turn number, down this backstretch here. Not good there for the team. Let's take another look. I'm going to rewind it on my end while Jared does his thing.
And that engine is blown on that 9.
Yeah, that I'm getting reports too that did end the number 9's day as no fast repairs. It's going to hurt David, but it's going to, I mean, he's got 2 drop races, so it's definitely going to be one of his drops. I guarantee it. I don't think you'll ever see him in the day that early. It's very rare.
So Finley just a little bit too deep in the tunnel turn. Not the last time we'll see that today, I'm sure. The 96 trying to gather it up. I don't think he's going to be able to, is Smith. Volpus is going to take a pretty hefty hit into the wall. Kevin Kyle trying to drive through this. We'll see if he's able to. And oh, man, there's that huge hit for Dave Medina. And, man, they're still partying back there. 43. Yes. Some huge damage for Clausen right there. 52's in this one as well.
Yeah, the 52. Who is number 52?
Yeah, I don't think that's their actual number.
That's
Melton. Okay, so new guy in the league. Yeah, new guy. I think he signed up this morning. So he's the 826. That's Chris Melton.
Oh, he's dead now, I believe.
And then Stephen Neal looked like he got some of that action there too, further in the back. So Stephen Neal might be having some damage the rest of the race. As he's way back there, tries his best to stay out of it.
A lot of residuals from that wreck there, Kevin. A lot of lack of checking up, or maybe just, having trouble finding an open gap. And a lot of cars involved in that one. I'd say at least 8 or 9 cars, and probably 5 of which their day is over. And one of them is our championship contender. As Rick Allen would say, championship implications right here.
Yeah, you can see that right front blocked up completely, not spinning at all. And I believe when he gets in the pit box here, they're gonna let the 9 know that his day is over.
Oh boy! Based on how that thing looks like he's driving, I don't think they have to tell him. As the 9's gonna immediately crawl. Yeah, he can't even get in his pit box. He's gonna crawl out of that race car and call it a day. As David Medina, man, Landry thinking, oh, I guess I'm glad I didn't pit.
Yeah, stays out of trouble. Landry, it's hard to get back mired in traffic and having to work your way back up through the field. It's just a lot of things can go wrong. Out in front, obviously, clean air, a lot less cars to deal with, and stay out of trouble.
Yeah, and that's going to mix up front even more. It looks like a few guys did elect to bring it down, but others not. Looks like Kelly, Finley, and potentially Medina still not bringing it down. Medina now in 4th place. Jose Medina, that is. And then 5th behind him is the rookie.
That's everyone's. It looks like everyone stayed out. Chris Melton obviously pulled it in after that wreck. Still getting repairs. Michael Benton, though, still in from his first wreck earlier in the day. He's already on 7 minutes of damage, and now we do see some pit stops coming in. I
Joe
might be a little
Volpus
bit
there.
behind. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Joseph
Yeah, it's like
Volpus.
Volpus going to bring it down. And I did see that 11 involved in that wreck, so I would not be surprised for this to be an extended stop for that 11
Awesome
race
shot
car.
there. Love that shot, Jared.
Beautiful shot. And man, it's a lot more beautiful in real life. Or I'm sorry, in BRL than it is in real life. Not sure if you guys know, but it's currently raining in Pocono, so we're not missing anything. If this goes into the actual NASCAR race, they will not be starting that thing on time.
Yeah, I saw that on the weather report there on my phone. I saw they're having some weather over there, so hopefully it won't be too long.
Yep, they don't have the technology we have.
All right, and I just want to say shout out to Animal House Customs and Ricky Mandela for all he does for the league. We couldn't do the broadcast or have the things we'd have without Ricky's help. Also to Matt Schofield and the Swanley Golf Association with his monthly donation, and each and every one of you guys have helped out with the race, sponsored races. All that stuff goes to sponsoring the servers and having sessions and the broadcasting and trophy stuff. So just appreciate each and every one of you guys for doing that and always coming to support the league. So just wanted to say we couldn't do this without you guys, and as you guys are on board with us this season, and excited to see how the end of this race turns out for the and this one was sponsored by Chris Morrill. It's the check-in. It's all about suicide prevention. So another shout out to that cause. And Chris, we're thinking about you, as I know your work and what you do for us in the country is you're out getting deployed. So we just appreciate everything you do for us there, Chris, and we're thinking of you.
Yeah, very, very cool of Chris to sponsor this race. Another great cause that we are sponsoring in this league, and very cool to have. And yeah, all our sponsors extremely appreciated. I can tell you, Kevin, DDRL league we just got started on this network on Wednesdays. First league I've ran, and this stuff isn't cheap. So extremely, extremely appreciated to have sponsors and help out a little bit.
Definitely. As it looks like Jason Landry's passing pit lane, the pace car lights are off. So we're going to go one more time around the track. And that's the one thing that sucks about Pocono. It's an awesome track, but just when you're in there racing it, it just takes forever.
It does.
But it's just part of it.
I mean, the guys who have damage right now, they're lucky this track, or they're happy this track is so big, giving them a little bit extra time to get that damage fixed in the pits that you would normally have at another racetrack. Really, you get about a minute a lap here at least to get some damage fixed. So I'm sure those guys very, very happy, but everyone with a healthy race car shop at the pit, ready to go.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the long pace laps here might have added to some of the frustration. We had a lot of time for talking on the radio there this race, so
Not always a great thing.
No, but it definitely adds into the flavor of the race. We'll have to see how many more cautions we get here.
Got a cool combination of numbers here too. We got the 55, the 56, and behind that we got the 54.
Oh, the 50s came to play today.
Yeah, good day to be driving a number in that, or a car in that number range. But yeah, I'm curious to see how this one goes. And one thing visually I'm seeing too, Kevin, this field is a lot smaller than it was before.
Yeah, they're starting to get some attrition is starting to happen for sure. As Chris Melton, Mike Benton, Tim Darby, I think they are. Oh, they're out.
Medina.
Yep, they're a couple laps down. Medina, I think, is the only one that is out at the moment.
Appears that way, but yet pace car going to pull off. It's going to still be Jason Landry keeping control of this race. It may be crazy, but Landry has been able to control it. Another great restart from Landry. And same thing for Jared Kelly. He is on the outside. It's going to be Finley looking on the inside. That second row on the inside today has had some phenomenal restarts.
Yeah, Jason liked starting from the first there as on the inside. It seemed like he favored the inside on those restarts.
Oh man, Finley a little bit tight there at a 1, and you can see how bad that kills his momentum. It looks like Jose Medina is going to try to make that pass to the outside. He's going to complete that before they even entered the corner. And man, here's where everything went wrong last time. So you know these guys got their head in a swivel as they go through the tunnel turn here.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to fix my. I had a bad stuttering problem for some reason on my iRacing, but it's back to normal here. As I appreciate Jared producing for us this morning, taking a lot of the load off of me and you, Zach. So, Jared, thank you for what you do. Zach, thank you for being here this morning also. And yeah, we're here lap 19, I believe, as Jason passes the line.
Yeah, we are. I'm actually seeing a lot of cars that were involved in that wreck, pretty significant ones, like Kyle Anad right there on screen. He is still on track, and that car does not look that much worse for wear. So good sign for that 988, trying to recover from that massive incident right there. But a lot of cars that I'm seeing that were involved in that, not as bad as I expected them to be.
Yeah, I know I got hit earlier, and I thought I was gonna have at least some damage, and is honestly just a few seconds. So the cars feel a little more stout.
Oof.
If it's not, oh yeah, close move there on Kyle, working on Stephen Neal in the 45. As now Kyle dives it back underneath Jake O'Shea.
Kyle driving hard here is the 988. Just see it diving into that corner, trying to get around Shea. Shea gonna go a little bit wide, and Lanot's gonna grab that spot. Kyle and Not working through the field very quickly. Yet another one of those cars, I believe Shea was involved in that wreck, as was Neal behind him. So good recovery from all these guys so far. There's Shelton right there with Brenner.
Yeah, big battle there. Jake Jacksonville, Jake Johnson, I think, are switching spots there. Jax just moved up a spot on Jax. Oh, I think Jake Johnson might have been having trouble as he looks like he got up into the wall. He's going to lose in that other spot to Gerald Rose in your top 10. Big shout out to Jerry. Yeah, big shout out to Jerry. Each and every week just seems like he's been getting a little bit better and more confident. And I'm really excited to see how much better Jerry can get this season, as he's been obviously involved in some racing incidents, not of his doing, some of them, and it's just racing out there for the most part. But Jerry doing a great job right now, holding on the P11.
Yeah, really, like you said. Oh man, we got the 43 around on the front stretch. Hard hit into the outside wall, and we're back under caution.
Oh no, Zach, that's the Farmers Only number 43 STP machine. That really hurts me, as I'm a huge proponent of the Farmers Only brand, as we might get some shots from our Farmers Only blimp a little later on in the day.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaking one for you, Kevin. This is going to be a painful replay for you to have to watch.
Oh, there we are. We're up here in the farmersonly.com blimp. Remember, folks, you don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com. That's right, everyone. Make sure you thank your local farmer as we take a look here at the 43 STP machine. Just what happened there, Zach? Did he get loose, or did he get turned?
No, just loose.
Farmers Only.
I could tell.
3 into the wall, and then just like that earlier wreck we saw, making sure to even out that damage, get the rear end consistent with the front. So did that too. That's just smart right there.
Yeah, get damage equally across the car to help with the downforce. I mean,
yes,
seems like it's a trend going on lately here in the Bonfire Racing League. As well to see if that continues. But the car doesn't look. It's like you said, Zach. It doesn't look that bad.
It somehow doesn't. I don't get it, because you hit these hits at Pocono. They are usually pretty big because you're going very fast here, and these next gens, they can beat tanks when they feel like it. I'm sure Dave Medina watching right now and thinking, why couldn't that have been me? Why didn't my car do that?
Well, Jared, do you want to try focusing on Jason, and maybe we can get him get the leader fast forward up to maybe some of these laps a little bit? With
These
the power
long Pocono laps.
With the power of technology.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
No, you're doing good, man.
We're going to try to work on some SDK magic here, ladies and gentlemen. This is totally normal what you're seeing here. This is what happens in real life as well.
Yeah, you just hit fast forward.
Yeah, this is what pros do. They don't enjoy cautions either. So
okay, so you can hit it play there, Jared, as we take the look at the pit stops.
Yeah, looks like he's going to bring it down Kelly as well, give him a nice little butt boop as they got into the pit lane. A lot of cars who have already brought it down, like Lanot actually stayed out, but like Owens, bringing it down again. But I believe last time they brought it down, that was fuel only, correct? So probably finally going to put some tires on it.
Yeah, and you can see Kevin Kyle there didn't take tires at all. He's just topping off with fuel, because right now we're at the stage where you might be able to one-stop it. Is that what I'm thinking? You might be able to one-stop it if you really stretch it right now, I believe is what's going on.
I think it's coming.
I think a lot of these guys, yeah, and I'd say, just based on looking at the field, I think a lot of these guys feeling this race has not had enough cautions in it yet. Let me get to a number that I deem appropriate, and that is what I'm seeing. A lot of old tires out here, Kevin. This is going to be messy with a capital M?
I don't know. I think you have to just watch the restart on the old tires, but like we were talking about how the fall off just, I don't know. I don't think it might we'll have to see.
Not quite as dramatic as you guys were expecting.
Yeah, I think that's what caught me off guard was that the tires just didn't feel like they mattered all that much. So
And we're still pretty early in this thing, so it is a good time to still be experimenting. If you want to do no tires, 2 tires, something different than what you were thinking you might, now would still be the time, so you don't find out when it's too late in the race. As lights are going with the pace car next time around, I believe so. And it looks like it's actually going to be Jose Medina leading us to green this time around. Medina, I don't know if he's brought down at all this time. I don't think he has, Kevin.
no,
Or
I'm
at all this
showing
race.
no, I'm showing last pitted lap 11, and it was a
Okay, so
14-second
early.
stop. Yeah, so he probably put tires on, fueled up. Um, that's like yeah, and I know for me, I just fueled up. It was a 5-second stop. So Jose, Kevin on the same tire strategy, I believe. Throwing on those tires earlier in the race, as where the rest of the field now came in and throwing on their tires. And that's going to be Kevin. That's going to be Jason Landry, Jared Kelly, Brandon Finley, David Owens, Mark Dumont, Kyle Lynott, Jake Johnson, Jake O'Shea. Most of your field all putting on their first set of tires.
All the way back in 11th place now for Landry. That's what that cost him to running the alternative strategy. So really, the race not by any means ruined for him, as he should have an advantage over everyone in front of him. But man, it does take away control of the race, which is a big thing. You've seen how these how these restarts can go. So Landry going to really just try to, I believe, prioritize keeping that car clean right now and just picking these guys off one at a time. But this is going to be a big moment for a lot of our AM drivers as well. Jose Medina, one of the guys that we've been finding on the top of our AM standings all season. Huge opportunity for him right here. Already getting to lead some laps under caution, so he'll get some points for that. But on top of that, this could be that long, long overdue AM win for Jose Medina that we have been expecting out of that 54. And definitely, I think, great to always have an opportunity to lead some laps in a league, right? Get familiar with that, know what that feels like, because I would not be surprised to see this guy doing more of that as he continues to get more familiar and experience in this league.
Yeah, Jose Medina right now in standings is in 14th position, and he's second place behind David Buell in the AM standings right now. And Michael Serra brings up your third place in AM.
And there goes Medina with a great restart, going to blast off in front of Brandon Shelton. Brandon Shelton going to try to use it outside. He's being pushed by Jack Staval. On the inside of them is David Brenner. You can see Medina already thinking about that draft all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. He went then back up to give himself that entry angle going into one. Good job by Medina, and you saw the benefit of it there, Kevin, with a big lead. Oh, Shelton, big hit. Shelton into the wall.
Is that going to bring a caution out? I don't believe so. I think that's just going to send Brandon with some damage on the right side of that vehicle, just trying to hold on to that car as the whole field's basically going to push him as they go 4 wide by him. Nick Mills, Michael Benton in the 96.
Craziness through the tunnel turn, 3 wide outside of it. You see it right there on screen. That's a 51 of Gerald Rose in third place. Run of his life is the 51 is having it right now. Doing a great job. Brenner going to peek his nose to the inside. Jerry going to say absolutely not. Close that door. And here we go down the front stretch.
Yeah, right behind Jerry, a couple of rows back, you see Jason Landry on those fresh set of tires battling it out side by side with Kyle Lynott and Mark Dumont.
And there is the 56 trying to make his way through the field. He has the fresher tires. We think he has the fastest race car, but Kyle Lynott has already worked his way around Landry. Maybe Landry, part of that incident we saw, or at least trying to recover from it, that really got the field jumbled up.
Yeah. And then let's see, further back, I was taking a look at Kevin and Jared there. No love lost there between those two. They had an incident there in Michigan, and they've yet to be able to reconcile exactly what's been going on there. But as you can see, these two, always keep an eye when those two are next to each other, as it's some of the toughest and tightest racing around.
Jared Kelly races you hard even when he is happy with you. So, man, I would not want that guy mad at me. As you see that right there with the 31, the 55 coming out of the corner. Oh, man, look how tight it's getting for the whole field car on the wall. That was Neil, I believe.
Yeah, that's going to slow up the momentum of the 31. And
oh, boy.
You just had to get out of it and not try to cause any more issues there. As now Kyle
Got a car around on the front stretch.
Who do we got?
I believe it's we are in a contract. I believe that's Johnson is around on the front stretch. It is.
Oh,
that
so not
specific spot has been a kryptonite for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, coming out of 3. Let's take a look here.
And man,
behind the
Jose Medina had
131.
opened up to a big lead. He was looking good. Let's see if he did the method to balance out the damage here. So here we
Oh, he
are.
just misjudges the exit. I
Oof.
slams that right front in it. Maybe just hard to see sometimes around cars off of exit if you're not that used to the track, or just in general, when you're got traffic right in front of your face, that wall sometimes comes out and bites you. So that's unfortunate there for Johnson. But like we've been mentioning, the car doesn't look too worse for wear there. I don't see anything
Yeah.
completely broke on the car. So
The only hit was that outside wall hit. He just did a Tokyo drift for about 400 yards afterwards and kept it off the wall. So good job by Johnson minimizing how bad that could have been.
and then you're speaking about Jose Medina out to that little bit of a lead. I mean, that's the importance of clean air. As you can see, someone that we usually don't see out in front, as he did get that clean air, he was able to handle it and take great advantage of it. As you could see, some of the other guys struggling to make it up through the field. So, Jose up 17 spots from where he started today. Jax in second, up 7. David Brenner up 10, and big mover there is Gerald Rose in the 51. Up 21 spots, along with Richard Swingle, 19. So great job by the top 5, all improving their positions off of some pit stop strategy and track position.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Duvall doing a good job. We saw that he fell all the way down the field earlier in this race with an incident. Has recovered up to second place. You're going to see him do some tomfoolery here with the pace car, actually. But Jax Duvall having a great run so far today. And yeah, Jose Medina been very, very impressive, using that clean air to his advantage on that run right there. Duvall nearly runs through Medina and then just spooked and says, I'm going to go in front of both you guys and just chill for a little bit. Just be alone. See the hills of Pocono.
Yeah, not sure what Jax is doing, but it's no biggie as he follows
Doing Jax
back
Duvall
in line.
things.
Yeah. Trying to
Anyone
bait
besides
Jose
him.
Medina. Trying to
Yeah,
bait Jose
literally.
Medina into
Why
a
aren't you up here
mistake.
with me?
Yeah,
Yep.
cross the start finish line with me.
Medina said, I'm not going to bite, buddy. I am content behind this space car. You can figure that out.
All right, so we're going to have to see if Jose's going to bring this car down in the pit road here. They're off of turn 2, it looks like.
Yeah,
So
I'm curious here. A great run, but he still likely is going to want those tires. And you guys have, like you guys mentioned, you can make this race pretty simple from this point on. Take some tires now, take some fuel now, and you only have to come down one more time. I wonder if that's on Medina's mind here, or if he was just having too much fun in the lead. This will be a big moment for that 54 here.
yeah, I'd like to see him. I wish that could have gone green a little bit longer, just to see if Jose could have kept it. But he looks like he is going to be bringing that car down.
Yeah, it looks like he led his laps. He knows what that's like now for later in this race. And that could have been what that was too, right? You do that now, but you maybe Jose thinking the repercussions that could have if he was to not pit right now, knowing he's not going to win this race on lap 30, or I believe that's lap 30, but thinking if I get that opportunity later in this race to stay out, I know I can keep that lead for a couple laps.
Yeah, and you got about 8 cars pitting in right now, 8 or 10 cars pitting in. Kevin Kyle leading them in as of now. Nick Mills, Matthew Smith, Ricky Mandela, Jose, as we mentioned, Zach, Richard, Gerald Rose bringing it in, running that top 3 position. So we'll have to see how it all pans out there for those boys that pit. Oh, we got a car sideways in pit lane there, Zach.
Uh-oh. That's never good. That looks like to be the 97 Richard Swingle was around it. And this is a fast pit row. Speed limit very, very high compared to other tracks here at Pocono. So it is easy to spin, even though it's a straight line.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at it right now. I think it was off of exit out of the pit box is Richard gets on the gas a little too hard. I'm taking a look at it, let you guys know. He burns some rubber, holds it down. Oh, and then he just loops it. So yeah, just loops it there. No,
the best of us.
Yeah, happens to the best of us, especially today. Seems like a lot of guys had to move their brake bias down to get the car to loosen up, and that caused a lot of issues with some of the accidents we had of having to hit the brakes hard. The car kind of just took off on you if you weren't ready for it. So
Jax Duvall is just not going to let this pace car dictate its speed. He's going to go as fast as he deems appropriate.
That's right. He wants to get this thing on this road on the show, and I don't blame him, as the pace car laps here are a little bit lengthy.
He's telling him, let's go, man. As Duvall now is going to inherit the lead of this race, though, so that's cool for the 84. He's also going to collect the bonus points that come with that. A lot of guys getting those 5 bonus points today just by virtue of staying out during cautions, collecting lap lead that way. Really not even have to worry about it once we go green in terms of keeping that lead and getting the points that come with it. But I'm sure Duvall feeling like that 84 is fast enough to stay up there.
Yeah, he knows he's fast and he's quick enough, and he's going to try to hold on to this clean air. It'll be interesting to see what Jax does now with the lead. See if he can do what Jose Medina was able to accomplish with that little bit of a gap.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if Duvall is able to have that same restart skill and success that we saw Medina have. And man, we are not even at the halfway point of this race yet, and the attrition is already beginning to show its face. A lot of cars still in the garage, a lot of cars with too much damage to keep their pace. So a lot of free positions for these guys that maybe have not had the season they've wanted to. This is a pretty big opportunity here to get a good finish.
So Zach, you guys are on week 2 of your Wednesday night truck race, correct?
This will be week 2, same track. We'll be at Pocono.
Gonna be at Pocono. All right, good to know. Good to know. And what time does that start, Zach?
So we'll be doing that. That's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern, so 6 o'clock our time over here in California. It's been a lot of fun. We're doing a fixed seat trucks. We've had very similar sized fields, and a lot of the guys that are in this field today, you'll see in those races. But it's been a cool combination of several leagues that you see in this network, as well as others, and a lot of their top drivers, and a lot of beginners too. It's been a cool combination of a great place to learn and improve your skill, but also share the track with some of the best, just like it is here on Sundays in the BRL.
10-4. Well, that's good, Zach. I'm glad starting off on the right foot over there, as it looks like they're exiting turn 30. Pace car lights are off, and we'll have to keep an eye on this pace car, see when he dives off and gets Jax to go ahead to lead the lane back to the start.
Jack's probably happy to see that pace car away from him, and he does not wait long. And away goes Jax early in the restart zone. That's what I like to do, Kevin. I like to go early in the restart zones, and that is why. What a jump for the 84. Clear of the field. He's going to have turn 1 all to himself, but behind him, it is side-by-side.
Yeah, side-by-side, Brandon Finley and Sarah there trying to get it figured out as the 22 of Brenner backing up that corner.
Ooh, not a great exit for Jax. I believe that might give Brenner a lead there. Oh, we got a big one. We got a big one. I believe that was Jose Medina. Oh, no.
No, not
Huge hit
Jose
for
Medina.
Swingle. Richard Swingle with a massive, massive hit. And that was Jose Medina. And I think that may have been Jerry Rose as well. I see Kevin Kyle in that. Wow, this one was ugly. Here
Yeah,
we go, the
like,
exit 2. Look at the outside there.
What a huge hit. Almost Alex Bowman-esque of Jose Medina.
Yeah.
As Kevin Kyle, Nick Mills, they both try to take that. Oh,
Nick Mills. Oh, slaps it. Go back a little bit if you can, Jared. That was crazy from Nick Mills. That was insane. He looked like he had it gathered up, and I forgot there's a little bump there, and look at the amount of air this car catches. Wow.
It caught a lot of guys off guard, and Richard Swingle got the worst of it as he wasn't able to get it low down in time, hits the bump and slams it outside barrier wall. The 131 looks like he comes down on Nick Mills there a little bit. It looks like that's what started off this chain reaction. Oh, as Darby almost gets nicked there as he's flying by under caution.
Yeah, it looked like he got loose here out of 1, went down the track into Mills, up into Medina, and then it all resulted in this enormous hit. Definitely the biggest hit we've seen yet today. This in real life would be very concerning.
Yeah, I like the paint scheme there. Oof.
Through the wall.
Oh
man, and Darby almost taking a bite as the teeth ready to go. Oh, that was close.
That's a close one. Yep. Darby almost got hit there, but it looks like the 131 just came down, got touched. Jose sends the field sprawling out in all directions, trying to avoid it. I know I wasn't prepared for the bumps down there on that backstretch or wherever this took place, because that almost ended my day. So
that ended quite a few people's day. I think that's the last we'll see of Swingle. That's the last we'll see of the 113, I think. Maybe Medina. Oh, brutal for so many guys who are having a good day. Nick Mills, he took a significant hit on the inside wall, but again, that 20 doesn't look too bad. Certainly doesn't look as bad as I think it would after that massive hit. Same with Medina, not that bad.
Yeah, it's very curious how the cars are really resilient in some cases, and other times they just get smoked and they're done. So,
Yeah.
well, some will have to learn with the update with the next gen cars here.
The 131, however, he is smoking. I believe that car is going to be done. I mean, that hit was enormous. I'd be shocked if that engine still has anything left in it. But we had just mentioned attrition, Kevin, and that one's going to take out another chunk of fast drivers, leaving more positions available to these guys.
And then, Jared, by all means, if you want to get us going here just a little bit.
As there is Duvall bringing the field around, and looks like Brenner is going to bring it down this time. Duvall changes his mind last second. Oh, some little tomfoolery there from Brenner. I like that. That was funny.
Good catch there, Jared, on that. I didn't even realize Brenner pulled that one off as he got Jax the bite.
Yeah, it cracked me up during the race. I told him that was funny.
Brenner playing a little bit of chess. Yeah. I like that. Talk about suckering somebody into the pits. I wonder if Brenner was planning on fitting, and then once he realized he got Jax the bite, he's like, actually, you know what? I'm not going to.
Let's try and get her to 1 to go here.
Because we're gonna fast forward here to 1 to go at this marathon of a racetrack.
Yeah, maybe just put him before turn 3. Pace car lights off.
As you can see, these guys getting side by side, lined up. It is going to be Brenner leading them to the pits. I'm sorry, leading them to green after that brilliant fake out. One of the best I've seen in a while from Dave Brenner. And that's going to be the 27 of Sarah, who we saw qualify in 4th place. He has speed in that 27. He's been up here all day, so now he gets to share the front row.
Yeah, we'll be curious to see what Michael does now with the front row. See if he can get a good jump on Brenner. There.
As they come out of what turn 4? Question mark. And we'll see if Brenner elects to go early, similar to Duvall. That really seemed to work for him. It's going to be late for Brenner, but that works too. Great restart for that 22. He's going to blast off in front of Sarah. Behind him, you have Finley and Jared Kelly. All different types of tire situations in this pack at this point. So many cautions, which just allows for so many different agendas here. So that's really going to mix up these early stages of these runs as we go into turn 1, side by side behind Brenner, but a great restart for the 22.
Yeah, 22 gets out to a great jump. The 27 backs up Jared Kelly, Jason Landry there a little bit on that outside line. And they finally get momentum there past Brandon Finley that's stuck on the inside.
And Landry's still trying to work his way through this field. That early pit stopping just has not had enough green flag laps to get the positions that he needs. But here he is in 4th place now behind Jared Kelly, a teammate of his. Those two very, very familiar with one another and racing each other hard. So we'll see how long this one takes Landry. He's going to back that corner up right there. Man, he really backed it up. But watch this run. He'll likely get through this front stretch.
Yeah, and right behind him, that's Finley and Kyle Lanot battling inside, drag racing it down the front stretch here also, as that's another little battle to keep an eye on here. Oh, we got a car loose in the back, Jared.
Oh,
I see
man.
smoke.
Oh, whoa, we got a big one in the back. You were correct. It looks like we got Benton. The 13 is around of Darby. Darby's going to tow it, actually. And that's going to end the day for Darby. Let's see what happened here. I see Brennan Shelton was involved in this, too. Man, not a great day for Brennan Shelton. Not his doing, but gosh, wrong place, wrong time. Well, that's not supposed to happen.
I don't even know what to say on that one. That's
How did Benton find a way to be in this one? Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, and he gets he uses a 13 to straighten him out.
He says, "Don't worry, Brandon. I'll save you. I'll avenge this for you, my friend."
Oh man. Well, I'm glad.
I'm gonna lie. I looked. Are they are Benton and Shelton friends? Because it looked like sticking up for your friend right there.
They are now.
They are now, indeed. They are now, indeed, and a friendship was born.
Right, so that brought out a quick caution right after, and you look at the 2 front end there, lots of damage on the 2. That front valence has been pushed up into the radiator there, as that's really going to inhibit the performance there of that Chevy Camaro.
That car is about 8 inches shorter than it was 5 minutes ago. Brandon Shelton, also like Jack Staval, recently promoted. Oh man, that car doesn't look like it wants to turn right now. Recently promoted up into the pro division. And oh, look at that car, Kevin. It doesn't look like it wants to turn.
No, that thing is really beat up, out of shape. I'm not sure how much more performance he's going to get out of that car today, but we'll see. We'll see what the crew can do when he brings that car down pit lane.
Yeah, keep my eye on Shelton right now. I'm
And
assuming.
Swingle's still running. We were he was involved in one or two. Oh, it's
And another
Brenner,
one.
yeah, better fix it again.
Brenner thinking, can I do it again? Can I get him again? And he does. It works. He's fixing more people into the pits. Brenner's been a very good source of entertainment this afternoon.
And I think he's probably saving quite a bit. I'm not sure if we can go on and listen to it if he is saving at this time, because since he's not been pitting,
Right.
you wonder how tight he is going to be on fuel.
These laps dwindling down, a lot of them under caution, Kevin. We are already, I believe, on lap 38 right now of 75. So we are at the halfway point of this race. So yeah, I'm thinking Brenner may be thinking that right now. And that car is turned off. So yeah, you were right. Absolutely, sipping fuel is the 22. There's Jared Kelly. I'm assuming doing something similar. His dash is looking cool with that new update.
So Brenner last pitted lap 12. Put 4
Jeez.
tires on.
Impressive he's even able to hold that track position the way he has. Short run's really benefiting him. But now it's taken Landry a long time. I'm sure much longer than he expected. I mean, 100% due to all the cautions and the lack of green flag racing that he got with that. But he has done it. He is in 3rd place now, and he is ready to strike.
Yeah, that's one thing we should have been paying attention as a field of Brenner staying out there on those older tires. Something to note, because maybe they might come back later in the race where you realize, hey, if Brenner's able to hold on, with 10 lap older tires, maybe it might come back to help you later on in the race. So I'm trying to say, but you don't think of that as you're racing.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, Kevin. When I did my my A-fixed race, the 30 lap race yesterday, everyone came down pit road with 10 to go, except me, and I was leading. I thought I made a really bad decision. Luckily, the yellows kept on coming out, and I was able to hold on. And the last 2 laps, I was able to keep my track position and go on to win. So the aero definitely has a big effect here on the cars behind. So
Yes.
yeah.
Even more
That's
so
good.
now with that aero update.
Yeah, and as we get more cautions, that's got to be something weighing on the minds of these drivers. And I think likely why you're seeing someone like Brenner stay out as much as he is right now, I'm thinking, man, if we keep getting these cautions, I don't want to be where they're happening, towards the back. I'm just going to stay up front, keep control of this race, and I'll figure it out later.
Yeah, I agree with that, because it's more, you'll just worry about it when you have to worry about it. The track position. I'm not sure what window he's looking for. Obviously he wants to stay out there as long as he can until he's just rolling the dice though, staying out though. He's hoping for another caution before he has to come in and pit.
Yeah, I really don't know what window he's necessarily waiting for, or if it's just going to be a vibes thing, as the pace car is going to come off this time, and it's going to be Brenner leading them to green. On the outside of him is Jared Kelly. Another great restart for Brenner. He's going to take that inside lane with him. Kelly's been great on the front row today, probably the best out of everybody. He's always seemed to maintain that second place when others have struggled, and not the start that I think Landry was hoping for. He's going to be side by side with Finley as they enter turn 1.
Yeah, and Finley gets a better run a little bit on the outside, but is Jason going to get the launch? No,
Volpus right behind them though.
Wolf is probably going to help push Finley, get him pushed out past Landry.
43's around. The
Yep.
Farmer's Only car, not again. Kevin Kyle getting to know the Farmer's Only car. Oh, the 3. Doing that evening out method that we've been seeing a lot today.
And then the 13 just gives a little bump. I don't know what the 13 was looking at out of his front windshield.
That wreck took out a lot of our sponsors, Kevin.
And I think this was mentioned about the brake bias was like just the pure fact of like getting on the brake at all, because I think that's what happened to me.
Why have these guys lost the ability to drive in a straight line? as the 57 and the 43 get together down the straight.
Oh, Ricky
Not where they
Mandela
should be at.
just misses it.
No, he doesn't.
Oh no, you're not.
And right in front of the 31 of Kevin Kyle, he's going to try to dodge left, and he dodges too far. Or too hard, I should say. Right in front of the 96.
Yeah, I felt bad.
And look at Mills on the
96.
inside.
I'm surprised that 31's got a road course win and he's struggling to turn right. So
I cannot turn right. I keep looping it.
Ooh,
Oh,
oh
jeez.
my! Exchanging paint, but nothing else.
Yep. And then check this out.
Well,
Yeah, I was speechless.
can't park there.
I think that's what the 13 was trying to tell him was he can't park there. He's got to get
Oh,
on
yeah.
the move.
Just
Help
kind of
him.
being like the hall monitor. Get it going, boy. That's what he was saying. Telling the 31. Let's go, man.
Yep, I think that's what it was. I think
Mhm.
the 31 was in the wrong there. But
I
I'm
think
not-
so, too.
I'm not biased.
No, never.
Speaking of bias, though, that was an issue for me. Anytime there was anything up in front, just did not keep control of the car under heavy braking. But I don't know, Jared. How did you feel? I don't know if you had your brake way down or.
I had my brake bias set to like 38%, but when I got pushed back further back in the field, I kind of moved it forward a little bit to give me a more front braking, just for.
God, 38 is low.
everything. So
That's low, right? Like, I'm not a next-gen guy, but 38's very low, right?
It's pretty normal.
Really? Okay, my bad. I
They
didn't
start
trust
you
go
off.
that low.
They start you off, I think, around 46.
Oh, okay.
Like stock, and then you can play around with the cylinders. But like, it's just these cars are real tight, so you gotta under braking, especially courses that have a lot of braking. It's imperative to bring that bias down to help out, and then also helps with tire heat. Also, you can play around with the brake bias if you got a lot of front tire heat. You can bring that heat out of it and put it in the rear to be a little more balanced. But yeah, a lot of little tricks and stuff as you keep learning and how your car works. But as you can see, like, I could have ended my race about 3 times today just from trying to avoid wrecks.
Yeah, the next gen definitely a unique driving car. Also, you have that extra gear available to you, compared to most stock cars with only 4 gears. The next gen has 5. Also, a way you can try to get that thing to turn right. Downshifting on the entry of these corners, sometimes using the engine braking will help turn these cars. But one thing I do love about the next gen is that there's so many different ways you can drive it, right? You could be heavy on the brakes, use that to get in the rear tire, be heavy on the brakes and use that to check up early and then drive out the front. A lot of different ways you can approach racetracks in this next gen car, especially Pocono.
Yeah, and then speaking of road courses, we're going to be at the Chicago Rolly Street Course 77 next Sunday. So that will be our first
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Where are we at next week?
We're
Atlanta?
at Atlanta.
That's right.
Hot
bad.
Atlanta. Fun stuff.
Hopefully there's no fog this time.
Yeah, let's hope the weather
And
cooperates for us.
Hopefully it ends better than it did last time.
Yeah, we will see. Atlanta, usually a good place for people to get their feelings hurt now that it's a super speedway.
All right. So next week, Atlanta.
Then Chicago.
Because
And is it raining?
Where's-
The pace car wipers were on.
It must be similar to Real Pocono right now. It's just showing some sympathy to Real Pocono. Or it's
I
actually raining.
guess. I didn't even know that was a function for the pace car to have it.
I had no idea that was a function. I did not know either. Yeah, that.
Well, it looks like Jason Landry lost some spots there on that last restart. Back there in 5th now.
Hey, excuse me, boys. I got something's going on outside my my window. Like, let me go. The dogs are going nuts, so I'll be right back. But I am. I'm gonna hit play once you guys get the pace car off, and then I'll be right back.
This is me and you now, Zach. Looks like pace car is gonna go off, or maybe it's just me, but pace car is gonna roll off, and David Brenner gonna take off the really good restart with the 55. Able to kind of hold tough there just a little bit longer than everybody else.
All right, I'm back there. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Kevin. It was just me. I don't know what happened to Zach. He disappeared.
Oh man, Zach down, Zach down.
But we actually are staying green for the most part of this lap.
That's a first.
Looks like a battle for the lead almost. Real close there.
Yeah, that's between our own Jared Kelly and David Brenner. They're battling out. Looks like David's going to get the better of that exchange. And Brandon Finley now chasing down Jared as he gives him a little nudge there in the back. Looks to the inside, files back in line. A little bit of behind.
Sorry about that, guys. I had some technical difficulties right at the wrong time. You can hear me now, right?
Yes, we got you.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that.
Got you.
All right.
No worries, man.
But hey, we're getting a nice green flag run here. I think this is the most laps we've ran in green in quite a while. And doing a great job is Brenner, but Kelly breathing down his neck looking for that lead. Whoa, big moment there for Vulpes.
Yeah, he gets a little bit loose, and then that's unfortunately going to leave the door open there for that outer line.
Yeah, that's going to allow Owens to make a move. Finley as well. Finley has been holding tough in this top 5, having the best run, I believe, of his season so far. Vulpes going to fall all the way down to 6th place with that one mistake. Man, it is tough when you lose your momentum here at Pocono. It can cost you far more than one spot. Up front, we still got Brenner.
Landry almost got in the back of the 48 there.
That's Owens in the 8.
Oh, 8, sorry.
And yeah, it is. Landry, again, seeming to be bleeding spots. Not making
Landry
forward
just
progress.
All up into Joseph Vulpes there. Look at that, how close Jason is. Just right, side drafting the paint, side drafting the paint right off the 11. Oh shit.
Man,
Sure
these two going for it. Oh boy, these two are going hard at each other right now. Are the 56 and the 11. This is getting intense. Out of 3 they go. Oh, into the wall goes Vulpes, and Landry gonna try to get away from him as quick as he can. Can he make a move on Owens here? Looking to the inside, or look to the inside of Owens. Is he just gonna follow him through 1 and 2? Looks like that's exactly what he's gonna do. Gonna try to send Owens into that corner with a little bit too much momentum and look to his inside through the tunnel turn. Great move by Landry there to get next to Owens.
Another side by side, drag racing back down.
This is through the tunnel turn. This is always a scary place to make passes. Kevin, not ideal, and it looks like Owens is going to give him the line, and another move by Landry there. This is the forward progress that we were expecting out of that 56.
Yeah, I think you want to be on the inside through the tunnel.
Whoa!
Turn.
Oh, that was scary. It is all types of crazy behind Landry there. Owens going deep into 3, nearly getting into him. They all keep it straight. And we are under green right now. We still have the caution graphic. I always forget to do that. I always forget to do that now that I've been doing replay files too. And look at Landry though. Looking to that right behind the 48 now. He seemed like he's setting up his passes through turn 1 and then completing the pass through the tunnel turn. Doesn't look like he's gonna be able to do it this time on the 48 of Finley. But man, I feel like this field might feel like they're on borrowed time with that 56 starting to put in some really fast laps.
They're pretty much sticking together though, and it's curious to see how Brenner is able to keep that gap on Jared Kelly right now. Jared catches up here just a little bit. You can see the gap tighten up, and then David might just have a little bit better exit here, and it's just a little too much for that 55 to overcome to get the draft back. But you take a look here, Kyle Lynott now. I'm trying to make a move on the 11. He's looking to the inside on Joseph Vulpes.
Man, Lynott, this guy has not said die today. He has been up and down the field. He's been facing every direction in this race. And Kyle Lynott still with the 988, looking relatively good and definitely fast.
Yeah, especially like you said, after that incident earlier, contact, car seems to be in pretty good shape.
And what you're also seeing here, Kevin, is just how much I think damage the rest of this field has, because the gap outside the top 10 is enormous, and I'm thinking that's just a virtue of a lot of these cars no longer being healthy. So many incidents in this race. As the 48 is catching up a little bit to that 55. 48 starting to put down some great laps. Man, that guy has been impressive today. Has Finley just been in control of that AM win since the drop of the green flag, really.
Yeah, Brandon, someone we're going to keep an eye on as the season progresses, as he joined the league a little while it was in progress there. But you can see, I love the higher view. Sometimes you can really just taking a look from being able to watch the race from any camera angle. You're able to really see the accordion effect of how the cars enter the corner and exit. As now Jared's definitely picked up the pace and is starting to attack David as Brandon's doing the same behind Jared.
Yeah, sometimes the best way to find speed is to have someone start pressuring you, and then all of a sudden you have to defend, and the best way to defend is to put another car behind you. But look at this. That's going to allow Landry to look to the inside of Finley. Landry going to try to collect third place here. Finley not able to really find the line that he needed with Kelly. Looked like it cost him a little bit of momentum, and same thing going to happen here. We'll see what Owens decides to do here. So it looks like he's going to give a little bit of a push to that 48 and try to get around Landry that way. And here goes Kelly looking to the inside of Brenner for the lead.
Yeah, Jared finally got a big run on a 30. And let's see if he can complete the pass in the 1.
Great job by Kelly exiting 3, getting side by side, and completing the pass through turn 1. New leader, the 55 of Jared Kelly, and another driver who's been up front all day. We'll see if he's able to finish this one off. That 55 clearly with tons of speed in it. And now behind them, David Owens able to complete that pass on Landry. So Landry falling back to 5th place.
Ooh,
Finley
wow.
doing a phenomenal job defending. Oh boy, through the tunnel turn they go, and very, very tight.
Yeah, Brenner backed that up really hard, and the 48 almost rear-ended the David there. It did his day.
One thing I'm starting to wonder here too, Kevin, is, oh wow, 3 wide out of 3. And the reason why is because Brenner, and I was about to say, what I was wondering is, when is he gonna want to bring it down? How much more fuel does that 22 have? That 22 gets passed by Kelly, and the next lap he brings it down, and I'm assuming that will be for 4 tires and fuel, and that'll be the last time he does that today.
Yeah, that's a smart move there by David. Fought as hard as he could, kept track position, and as soon as he gave up a spot, brings it on down instantly. So we'll see if that pays dividends at the end.
And like we talked about too, this is a big track, and he's going to have that tire advantage now, so he shouldn't go a lap down. And if he does, it won't be by much, and he shouldn't take him long to get it back the hard way. So this race by no means over for Brenner. The majority of these drivers, I'm assuming, luckily are likely having to bring it down, and they probably would want to do it sooner rather than later, knowing how much speed is in that 22 and knowing he'll be putting down faster laps than them now.
Let's go jump to Jerry Rose there in the 96. They were having some issues back there. They had a little bit of a cluster as they're catching now the Tommy Fox in that 57. Just taking a look on and now they're catching Jake Shea. This is back in P12, P13. Jerry working on a P14 right now, up 11 spots from the beginning of the race. But they did get it sorted out earlier. We had a couple moments there, I think, is what happened. So I was just trying to bring a little bit of attention to that one, as it looks like maybe back up the front. I'm trying to look where else we might have a closer battle, but this is pretty close right here. But like you said, up front though, those P2 through 5 really battling out there between the top dogs.
And where you're seeing Jerry Rose and Tommy Fox, kind of that lead group, looking out their windshield, barely able to see the actual lead pack about the top, top 6, top 7 there. So far at this point, so I'm thinking not just that, these guys, racing hard, making a little bit of contact, but I'm thinking these cars not driving the way they were when this race started. I'm assuming the majority of these guys with at least a little bit of damage, just trying to get it around this track and protect that track position they have by the virtue of the attrition in this race right now. Up front, though, we are starting to see some single file racing. These guys putting in some really, really good laps. Probably also thinking about that 22 of Brenner somewhere else in this track, putting down hot laps. Now is not the time to be side by side and ruin your race that way. I think they're thinking about when he's cycling out, and I think in front of them right there that you just saw all the way going through the tundra, and I believe that's Brenner, not a lap down.
That's the one. That is the one of thing here at Pocono. They liken it to the fact of a road course, just because you're able to pit and still stay on the lead lap. So we'll see. We'll have to see that as now Landry looks to the inside of David Owens there.
Yeah, here we go. These two, they've been battling nonstop for at least 10 laps now. And we'll see what this does to the momentum of the 56 down the front stretch, if he's able to do anything about this. It looks like Owen's going to have a little bit better of a run, but I think the 56 is actually going to be able to draw side by side with him, and they're going to enter one like that. We'll see what Landry is able to do about this. And man, they're drawing in closer and closer to that 55 of Jared Kelly.
Yeah, 55 doing a great job for his teammate, dropping down on the inside, letting him get the toe off of him down the backstretch, and then moves up right in front of the last second in front of Owens as David Landry puts the slide there on Owens. And now it's 1-2 for Ignition Point Racing.
Great exit there for the 56, a great angle through the corner, able to grab a second place, and it's just him and his teammate now, and I think their priority will probably be to work together to get some separation and then figure out amongst themselves. That 56 can really do a lot to help the 55. I think with a little bit fresher tires, it's really deep send there that time from Owens. I don't think he's going to have a great run out of 3 here, but you can tell Owens wants that second place back.
Good run here down the front stretch.
Yeah, excellent run for all of these guys. And this is the longest run we've had since the beginning of this race. So these tires starting to get more worn. I think we're getting relatively closer to that pit number for all of these leaders right here. They're also beginning to catch the lap car of Jake Shea.
And now here comes Owens down on the inside. Looks like this is coming into the tunnel.
It is. This is always a big moment here. It looks like Landry's going to give it to him. Oh no! Oh my goodness, but he turns Kelly. And then again for good measure.
And Jared just gets rear-ended there. It causes a big pile up there after 2 as the field comes flying by. I'm not sure if anyone else got involved in that. Looking back further in the field.
Way too deep through the tunnel turn went the 8 there, Kevin. We've seen it happen a couple of times today, and this time it was for the lead of the race. 55 not happy. Seems to be on the wrong end of so many incidents in this league lately. We'll take a look here what happened. And this is the tunnel turn, and we've talked so much about this is one of the hardest places to complete passes. So little room for racing here.
Hold on, guys. I gotta find the small violin. You guys seen the small violin? I don't got it on me.
Little bit of netcode there for the 8. To be fair, definitely netcode is what initially upset that 55.
I think the 55 was giving him. I think the 55 was giving him plenty of space, and then the 8 just drove it in over his head there a little bit and went up the track. It seems like just couldn't hold it down on the bottom.
And that one catches Kyle Lanot as well. Lanot.
What a shot there of Kyle going by.
Hit, yeah. Man. That is not even the second time we've seen that 988 doing that today.
So who this caution does this help out, do you think? Do you think now if David Brenner stays out, is he able to get track position? And
yeah.
And while Jason and everyone else out, they know that they have to pit in order to get make the finish of the race.
Correct. Brenner should be on the lead lap. It looks to me like the entire field is going to bring it down, and Brenner is not. I believe Brenner is going to inherit the lead of this race.
And then there you take a look at the 8. He's bringing it down. He looks like he just sped through pit road. I don't know if he sped or not, but that is a closed pit, I believe. Is that true there, Jared? Or am I off? Oh, I'm off.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the light.
He's coming down alone. So I'd assume that it is a closed pit. Probably not a big concern of Owens right now. Probably willing to eat whatever penalty he's going to get there with his priority. I'm assuming just to fix that race car, right?
Yeah, Jared, I was off a little bit on the sequence. I was just back on the main field pitting on my screen, and then you were showing Owens coming in from that wreck right away, getting that black flag, I believe. That's a in the line penalty there.
Brutal. Brutal, brutal. And so now it is actually, are we seeing Landry, or we'll see who brings it down here. I don't think the pits have happened yet. Here we go. And this is going to be, I think, everyone besides David Brenner here.
Dalton stays out.
He does. How do you think that 2 car is driving right now?
Rough. I know he pitted earlier in the sequence, so he already made his pit stop. So I think he can make it till the end. Is what I'm remembering.
Well, that's
good. He's also a lap down. I think he's a lap down or 2. So it's not, it's not
really
really
likely a wave around there.
Yeah.
which makes sense. I mean, again, so much attrition in this race. I would also be prioritizing just getting on that lead lap and handling it from there, right? As yeah, it looks like 2 cars staying out actually, not just Brenner. The 77 was Shea, who was about to get lapped, Kevin. He was seconds away from getting
Oh,
lapped.
he might
And
have
now
pitted.
let's see here.
I mean, he
That's
might have
true.
already completed his pit stop, so he might
That's
have
true.
looked out with David Brenner there.
So that's great for Shea. He's going to have a chance at a top 5 at least here.
Yeah, I was happy for I was happy for Jake, as he does have some front end damage though on that Ford Mustang.
Yeah, most of these cars aren't looking straight, to be fair though.
No, it's like you said, with all the cautions and it's been a battle zone.
It really has, my man. It's been a crazy one here at Pocono. And Pocono races can seem to go 2 ways, right? Either like this, or you get some really long green flag races. But like I said early in this broadcast, one of the tracks where cautions really seem to breed cautions is this Pocono racetrack. But we're gonna try it again. We're gonna stack or rack these things up again. It's gonna be Brenner retaking the lead of this race. To his inside, it's gonna be a Shea. We've seen some brilliant restarts out of Brenner, and that's no exception. It'll be 16 to go when they cross the line here, and David Brenner is gonna take back the lead of this race. Behind him, you got a Shea and Joe Volpus, another driver who's been quietly really strong. He's been in the top 10 essentially all day, and look who's back. Nick Mills is back.
Yeah, Nick Mills doing a great job bouncing back from that earlier incident. Like, these cars just had resilience. Some of these cars just had resilience today, as now the 11 having a great day today so far. He got in an incident last week at Auto Club at the end of the race, cost him maybe a race win. So we'll see if the 11 can bounce back today and come out with a good finish.
Here they go through the tunnel turn. This has been where a lot of the action's been happening all day today. It looks like we're going to get through clean this time. And still in 4th place, that is Landry right there. He was battling for the lead before we saw that last caution that took out Jared Kelly. So Landry now trying to recover from that. He doesn't have his teammate with him anymore. He's going to have to do this one all by himself.
Yeah, Nick threw a little bit of a block there, I think, in the turn 3, it looked like. Trying to keep Landry behind him at all costs, and I don't blame him. If Landry gets out in front of you, that's probably the last time you'll be by him. Seeing him go by you. So doing everything he can to stem the tide of the Jason there in the 5-6. But yeah, here we go. We got 15 laps to go here in Pocono as they head down into turn. Is this the short shoot coming up?
Yeah, Shea having a hard time keeping those old tires, or it looks like, or maybe that damaged race car underneath him. Really tight. As you can see, starting to stack up the field a tiny bit. Behind them is Duvall and Neal. And what we're also seeing here, Kevin, is a great race for the AM win start to show itself. A lot of these guys find themselves all around each other. Right now, it's Finley and Shea with the best chance at that AM win.
Yep, and Brandon up there doing a great job trying to hang on to the tail end of the 56's draft right there. A little bit further back, tight racing there. There's Steven Neal and Kyle Anott. That Kyle Anott machine still holding together. Jerry doing a great job also in P12 at this moment, as Jake and Kevin Kyle battling out teammates there together. They're trying to find a way by.
What a damaged cheat code does Lanot have that you and I don't know about? Because, man, how's that 98 still running? As Nick Mills actually completes the pass for 2nd place on Volpus, and it looks like Landry's going to try to follow him through as well.
Yeah, got to keep an eye on these two. They did have it seemed like they ran into each other there earlier in the race. Not sure how well Joseph liked the side drafting that was being done to him. So we'll see how the 11 and the 56 run around each other right now, as they're trying to chase down the 20 of Mills.
Yes, they are, and Mills chasing out the 22 of Brenner, and there's a lot of speed in that 20 race car right now. I wonder what Brenner's feeling right now. I'm assuming he has a little bit older tires than the cars behind him. We know he didn't pit, but he hadn't been back on track for too long, Kevin, so I'm wondering how Brenner's feeling right now compared to the cars behind him, or what's going through his mind. And we've also talked about how we've seen these cars kind of even out a little bit after a while on the run. I'm sure Brenner hoping we can get to that point.
Yeah, I think Brenner's hoping for a green flag all the way. He has a better advantage than he did earlier when he was leading. He only a 6-lap difference in tires compared to, I think, the 10 he had. So just another thing to add confidence to him right now. But I'm sure he's hoping for Nick Mills to battle out everyone behind him. Because Nick's a great driver also, and it's going to make it hard for you to make a pass, especially if Nick's got tires underneath him.
Yeah, David Brenner is definitely the biggest Jason Landry fan on the track right now. Really hoping that 56 can go and give that 20 a hard time, slow each other down, give the 22 a chance to check out a little bit more than he already has, and drive off into the sunset for a BRL Sunday night win, Sunday morning win, I should say. Brenner has really put together a brilliant race here and put himself in position to win this race, only 12 laps away from bringing this one home.
Now 56 got a run on Nick Mills. They're pushing it, getting closer, inching their way ever so closer to David Brenner now, as that's a big run now. As you can see, that gap close back up.
Wow.
And the 11 now trying to do everything he can to hold on to the tail end of that draft.
Yeah, you really saw when you choose not to go side by side and just use that draft, how much of a run that creates. That 56 and the 20 really closing the gap on Brenner right there through that straightaway before the tongue turns. Brenner actually collects the wall a little bit out of 3.
Can't afford to do that too much more.
No, once or twice more, and not just the damage, but the momentum it's going to cost. So you're starting to see it happening. I think Brenner feeling the pressure of that 20 and that 56. Here we go into turn 1. Brenner going to use the bottom, and I think this is going to be a momentum play by that 20. Going to want a big run out of 1 here.
56 sliding up the track, going to try to get a side draft now on Nick Mills. Going to put that right fender right there on the back spoiler. Try to put all that air on the spoiler and slow down the run of Mills.
Around goes Owens, big hit in the outside wall. I believe that was through the tunnel turn. He's going to try to gather it up, and he is not going to. We're going to be under caution.
As the 8, wow, good catch there, boys. I was so enthralled in the racing action up in the front.
Owens using that same parking spot that Kevin Kyle found earlier in this race.
It's nasty down there. It is nasty down that on the track limits. It's terrible. I did not realize it till it was too late. So, but yeah, what do you feel? Do you think this is a sigh of relief for Brenner? Lets him cool off the tires a little bit, or do you think? I'm not sure how he's feeling right now.
It's a double-edged sword. I think on one side of it, you have less laps that you have to run under green now, right? It shortens the race a little bit for Brenner. He doesn't have a tire advantage, so the more or the fewer amount of laps that he has to run, the better it is for that 22 indeed. However, it does give a chance to everyone to be side by side with him on that initial restart, and then closer to him. A lot of fakes, but didn't see anyone actually bring it down. A lot of fakes, though.
I think the 31 of Kevin, he's going to pit from 7th place.
Oh, yeah.
I think, did he come down this time?
Yeah,
he did.
Earlier, I believe.
He's in front of Medina now. Of Jose Medina is Kevin Kyle. So I think with the lack of cars in the lead lap, the amount of damage you're going to have in front of you, why not, right? I don't hate that decision by the 31 at all. As that's going to throw the 31 on Kevin Kyle, I think only back into about, what is that, 16th?
17th.
Yeah, 17th.
Yeah. So not terrible, not terrible. Especially if we already get a couple more cautions, more opportunities to stack it up. That could be a good move for that 31. We'll have to see. That's last week's winner as well, over at his home track of Auto Club, or home dirt lot of Auto Club, should we say?
Rest in peace.
R.I.P., my friend.
Lied to us.
I know. They did, dude. They did. Always a good time racing against you at that track, though.
Yes.
One of my Emerald wins was you and me dueling it out with one to go.
After I wrecked us in the infield.
Yeah. I will say when that happened and it was you and me, I was like, well, I'm glad I was the guy who wrecked me because he's not doing anything. As we get ready to go through turn 3 again.
Yeah, showdown here. Pace car lights are off, and David Brenner going to be leading that line, outside line. Inside line's going to be led there by Nick Mills. Jason Landry behind Mills. Joseph Fulpus going to be tailing David Brenner in that 22. As, now they enter to turn 3, and we're getting ready here for a showdown.
The biggest things about these restarts, too, Kevin, as you know, is you like to do things differently every time, right? You don't want to be predictable. But, man, if you're Brenner, you've gotten so many of them today. That ship has kind of sailed. I think everyone knows what to expect out of you here, as Brenner's going to try to get a good restart. We'll see what he's able to do. It's going to go very late this time. Good job by Brenner. And he's going to clear Nick Mills. He's going to get the restart he needs. So Brenner, again, executes on a restart. So important for that 22 right now. There's only 7 laps to go until we crown a winner here at Pocono.
And then there's the 11 and the 56 get side
oh, no!
by side.
Into the wall. Hard goes the 11 and around. And I believe that was the 48. A Finley that he got mixed up with there. Oh, and that is so unfortunate for both of them.
All right, Zach. So take a look at that, and just I want you to give me your opinion on it.
Oh boy.
I've heard a lot about it already. So just walk us
I'm
through
sure
it.
you have. I'm sure you've heard plenty about this one. Let's take a look. So right now, we have the. This is on board with the 48 right here. Yep. So he's in front of them is side by side between Vulpes and Landry. Oh, and on the entry of the corner.
Unfortunately, Joe on the wrong end of the stick again 2 weeks in a row. So shout out there to Joe. I understand. I've been there, done that, and yeah, just that's all. Just wanted to shout out there to Joe and hope he comes back and keeps running hard. But I understand sometimes some things can be the breaking point for you. But we'll see how this caution pays off. See if there's not too much damage to 11, or see where he gets put back in the field.
Yeah, it's still going to be Brenner and Mills making up that front row, but man, it just keeps getting more and more mixed up in the front, and the laps are ticking off, and they're not ticking off under green. This is only going to be 3 to go this time. My assumption being this is not a green-white checkered, I don't believe. I think we need one more restart. Yeah, duh. We're going with 3 to go. Oh, duh, it's not. So this would not be an overtime restart, but I'm sure Brenner praying that we can get to that white flag and make this race official. He's done everything right, Kevin. He just has to bring it home for a handful more laps. But Nick Mills and that 56 of Landry, so much speed in those two cars.
Yeah, I think we're all praying that it finishes soon, because I think we're running out of time on our server. We were hitting like
straight up.
We were hitting like 148 or 145. We have like a 2-hour window to get the race done.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very brief post race here today, as the pace car. I'm sure. I'm assuming, or I'm hoping, for the last time, gonna bring it down, take that hard left. It's gonna be Brenner. He just has to do it, hopefully for him, one more time through this restart zone. Another good start for Brenner. He's gonna be on the outside here. He's gonna clear Mills again, but man, Kyle Lynott with a brilliant restart. He is right side by side with Nick Mills. He's gonna have an opportunity at second place here, and that's what that 22 wants to see.
Yeah, as they send it in, there's Jacksonville on the bottom line, trying to find a way around this 27 and 56. Yeah, it looked like the outside line wasn't closed up enough there, as the 56 and 988 come together out of the exit. And David Brenner right now with a 3-gap lead in front of Nick Mills.
Nick Mills clearing everybody to get second place all to himself. He just has his sights set on that 22 now. It'll be 2 to go next time around. David Brenner just has to piece together 7 more corners, and he'll be able to call himself a BRL Pocono winner. But Nick Mills is breathing down his neck with a ton of speed in that car. Here we go, trying to get to this penultimate lap of this race.
And they're fighting all the way down and up and down the field right now. There's Jerry Rose, Jared Kelly. They're battling out. I think this is for 13th, 12th, and 11th right now, as Jerry gets a little loose, and now the battle between these two keeps heating up, as Brenner is out to 3/10 of the lead. I mean, I'm sorry, 1/10 of the lead right now against Mills, as Mills trying to run that outside line, gain a little more momentum out of exit.
Nick Mills flirting with the outside right now, not able to gather up a run though, actually kind of missing the corner and opening up the door for Landry a little bit, but that was what Brenner needed to see. That opened up about a 4-car length lead right there, and also it was going to give Landry a shot at Nick Mills. He's going to follow him through the tunnel turn, and David Brenner is 1 corner away from seeing the white flag.
Yeah, David's just hoping nothing happens here. Landry all over the back of Mills. You
Whoa.
can see Mills got a little tight. He got pushed into 3 here, but Mills does a good job holding on. Earlier in turn 2, David Brenner washed up there in front of Mills. You can see him get tight there, as now Brenner, like you said, just holding on to dear life. Has a little bit bigger lead here, as the white flag is out. This is the last time around here at Pocono.
Kyle Lynott got a BOGO special right there on Mills and on Landry, and put himself in second place. He's going to have an opportunity at this win if he can get just a little bit closer to Brenner. David Brenner is just done a masterful job exiting turn 1. He's been getting good runs out of there, but this time looks like Lynott got the run he needed. He is right there on the 22.
Yeah, which way is he going to go? Kyle backs it up a little bit, trying to get a good exit here. Get a momentum out of it too.
And this is where he made that huge send to even get second place. I can tell that 98 is really comfortable sending it deep, and he does. He gets loose. He nearly touches Brenner, does the right thing, gathers it back up, but Brenner is still not having the momentum I think he needs out of 3 here.
No.
This could be a drag race.
Here they come down the front stretch. Brenner, though, looks like he's going to take it as the cars are spreading out each and every way. And Brenner gets his first official oval win here in the Bonfire Racing League. So big shout out there to Mr. Brenner as he finally able to pull the trigger, as we had 2 first-time oval winners now back-to-back weeks. One there at Auto Club, and now David Brenner sealing the deal for himself, first-time winner for an oval in the Premier Cup. So big shout out there to David Brenner. And I also believe
Kevin Kyle got some at the end, it looks like.
I think, I picked up a few spots out of 17. I think we were able to, me and Jared, really good battle there between me and Jared there at the end. It was real fun. It could have turned ugly again, but it's
some extracurricular activity between Finley and Fox after the race as well.
Oh my.
Finley wrecking Fox after the checkered flag.
Unbelievable. We're gonna have to go back in the NASCAR officials will have to take a look.
Do we have the man himself with us here?
I think Jared is gonna work on getting that, or I can help you out, Jared.
We got you. Actually, I think we have him right here. We got you, Jared. We got you, David.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, man. Congratulations on the win. What a crazy one that was, and it ended up being, it seemed like an interesting one on strategy for you, able to maintain that lead halfway through the race on older tires. And then it seems like using a kind of a hybrid of that strategy to get the win today. Just take me through the day and how you approached this one. Did you kind of just let it come or play into your hands as the cautions kept flying?
Well, I will say my hopium dealer sure made a lot of money off of me today. It was definitely a bunch of calls that I made, and just with just hoping it would work out. Luckily, it did. That big fake out I did with Jax near the beginning, that was a purposeful fake out.
I love that.
I know how Jax is. If I didn't commit to the fake out hard enough, he would probably pull out of it just to mess with me. Because just I know how he is. So I had to really commit to the fake out, and I almost paid for it. Afterwards, I was kind of like, wow, that was close, but it worked out. I was hoping for the fuel strategy. I just kept staying out. I just wasn't convinced that tires would matter more than track position.
Mm-hmm.
And that last lap, another big drag of my dopium pipe there. Freaking Kyle, my teammate Kevin, Kyle Lanot. He had a run on me in 3. I knew it was coming, and I just made a decision. I've run so many laps here. This race has been so long. I've not had a win yet, and I'm either winning this race or I'm getting a face full of wall. And I just I threw the block, and I just hoped he cut me a break, and he did, and I got the race, and everything just worked out. But I had to do some sketchy stuff to get there. It was lots of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. That fake was one of the best I've ever seen. It was really, really cool. And hey, that hopium dealer, he made some extra money, but hey, you got yourself a trophy, so congrats on that. Any questions you have for him, Kevin?
Man, just I was surprised with the tires. When those yellows came out earlier in your last stint, like maybe the 1 or 2, did you want it to keep going green all the way, or did you want that caution to kind of cool off the tires? Did you feel like if you had caution laps, it would help you get the win and stay out in front for track position, or did you want it to go green as long as it could?
Well, so I was mostly hoping it would stay green, but what I was really hoping for was them 2 behind me, that Jason Landry and Nick Mills, would really race each other and slow each other down. That's what I was really hoping to see happen, and for the most part, I did. So I was like, cool. And then, but yeah, it was just like I said, the first pit stop, I actually stopped because I went in for fuel, just checked the tires, and I said, they're worn enough. I'll get them, and so I lost a lot of track position doing that. But after that, I was like, these tires, I feel like they don't matter enough. This track position, you need track position. So I just stayed out. I actually only pitted because I was about to run out of fuel. And so, while I'm here, I'll get tires again. But that was my last stop. I was committed.
Oh man, well, hey David, and you were saying first BRL Premier Cup win, so I know that's a big deal, and congratulations, as we had 2 first-time winners in the Oval Series in oval tracks here this for Bonfire. So yeah, dude, just congrats, enjoy it. I'm glad we're able to celebrate this moment with you, and looking forward to many more great races from you, man, with your strategy calls.
Congrats,
Yeah,
man.
thank you, and great broadcast, guys.
Oh,
Thank
thank you, sir. Thank you, Jared. Thank you as well with the broadcast. I know we couldn't do without you there, buddy, and thanks for chiming in there, and getting this thing going for us. So
Well, should we look
yeah,
over
Zach.
some of that last lap fiasco stuff?
Yeah, let's look over it.
Let's see what we've got here, because I know Kevin, me, and you were wanting to kill each other. There. So
Surprise, surprise.
we'll see what happens here. We'll watch this last lap under speed to see what happens.
So yeah, it's Kelly on screen right there. I'm sure everyone in this field right now, like, oh my god, the white flag. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, it was rough.
So yeah, look how high that 31 is. He's going to come out of this corner with a head of steam. Good around here. That's a Shea in front of them, I believe. Yes, it is. I believe that's Gerald Rose. Rose with a great run today.
Yeah, Jerry did a great job. I almost took Jerry out.
Almost ending it there is the 31.
You were a little farther back. I remember you being a lot closer.
There was just one move. We had one move.
I think it was coming to the line. That's what it was.
Yeah, I almost.
And-
Shea's hit the wall too. Oh boy. Why not?
It felt a lot
Almost
more
got him.
exciting. Yeah.
It felt way more intense, but maybe we can find what happened to Brandon Finley and what caused that frustration.
Yeah, I wonder why they were. I wonder if that was an earlier incident that maybe Finley was communicating about, or if it was coming to the line here. Let's see.
Tommy Fox is behind him here.
Yeah, Fox behind Finley.
Oh, and just gets
Here we go through
tight.
the. Oh, yep, through the tunnel corner.
little
That's
door
turn
up.
3. I apologize. Not horribly egregious in my opinion there. The white flag.
Yeah, they survived. That's the checkered right there. So
Not after this. I mean, watch
Yeah.
this. This was a message sent by Finley. Finley, I'm sure, very frustrated. Had such a good day, didn't get the finish. I feel like he probably feels like he deserved, and taking it out on T-Fox. Oof.
yeah, that seems to be everything. So let's see what we've got for. Let's see if my points actually want to work this time. So
Yeah, I'm sure a lot
we'll look at the
of switching
amateurs.
up of the points, as this are the amateur standings. Michael Sarah, today's winner actually gonna get, today's AM winner I should say, gonna inherit that lead, or I'm sorry, probably protect that lead. Behind him, Stephen Neal, Jose Medina falling down to 3rd there, but still within striking distance on points. 4th belonging to Ricky Mandela, and 5th Tommy Fox. So still a close battle there in the AM standings. See a lot of guys in that championship standings, and a lot of, I mean, really not over for anyone outside the top 20, I want to say. As now we'll
Yeah.
probably take a look at our pro standings, and this is where I think things are going to be a lot different. So Landry, our new championship leader, and it's going to be a 10-point advantage over David Medina now, and then you're going to have to go back over 50 points until you find 3rd place at David Owens. 4th belonging to Lenot with a great run today, 2nd place. 5th, Brennan Shelton. Still, man, that guy coming from the AMs to the pros mid-season and finding himself in 5th place. Awesome job by Shelton. Kelly, 6th place, and he sure has not felt like that. He's felt like a top 3 driver, but just so much bad luck this season. And then Duvall, Brenner, Mills, and Kevin Kyle running out the top 10.
Yeah, and you got Joseph Vulpes, Chris Morrill wasn't here today. Justin Malarkey wasn't here today. Buddy Solly wasn't here, and Joey was not here at all as they were absent. So your championship standings for overall. Thank you, Jared. Take a look there, Michael Sarah, man.
Oh, it
Really
hasn't,
having a great.
hasn't been updated. Whoops, that's my bad.
Oh, okay.
So this was coming into the race. I'm sorry, but Sarah actually he'll be higher up now. Will Sarah? So awesome job by the amateur driver right there, the amateur points leader, and today's amateur winner, Sarah. Qualified the best and made sure he was there at the end of it today. So great job by him.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah. Anything else there, Jared or Zach?
That's all I got from me today, guys. I'm excited to see y'all on Wednesday. Same track. Hopefully we'll keep it a little bit greener, but man, that I mean, I think the biggest thing too is just how difficult that next gen car is, especially at a track like this. We'll be in fixed seat trucks on Wednesday, so a little bit easier. But man, if Pocono showed us one thing, it's just how crazy this place can get and how unpredictable it can get. Really, really fun race today. All the congratulations in the world to David Brenner, and this championship standings or fight just continues to be great between Landry and Medina. But with days like this from Medina, going to make it that much more exciting between those two and the rest of the field, give everyone else a chance to close that gap. And then the amateur drivers putting on a show. I want to tip my cap to every single one of them. Congratulations to Michael Sarah and those guys doing a great job and mixing up with the pros week in and week out. Only a matter of time until we see one of those guys get the overall win.
Yeah, I agree with that, Zach. And Jared, you have anything to add on, or
No,
before we get out of here?
I'm happy here. I beat that 31 car. That's all that's important.
That's it. That's it. And then I just wanted to say our mid-season tournament is in effect, and we had our first week of it today, and it was just a couple like qualifying brackets to get to a normal size field. So next week it'll be a full-on field bracket challenge at the, Atlanta. So everyone's got a chance to knock out maybe some big ones there off the first week. As we're going to go to Atlanta for Matt Schofield's race, the Help for Heroes, and then after that we're doing the Chicago Street Course race. So we'll see you guys there next week. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you guys for showing up every Sunday morning, and it means a lot to all of us. And we'll see you next week. But for Zach and Jared and the VRN group here, we all appreciate you guys, and God bless you guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.